Hi students, hope all are doing well. Today onwards, again we are starting with the online class of history of class 9th. So let's begin the class. This is the second chapter of our civics. The name is Salient Features of the Constitution Part 1. So here in the first part, we will see what are the important features of the Indian Constitution. So let's read. Our Constitution has established in a democratic society, providing justice to all, irrespective of their social and cultural background. It has many salient features, some of which are given below. So when we speak about our Constitution, what are the main things that guarantee, or the main rights that are guaranteed by our Constitution? It's a democratic constitution. Okay, then it provides justice to all, irrespective of their social or cultural background. So now one by one we will see what are the main features. The first one is single citizenship. What does it mean by single citizenship? It means that all citizens, irrespective of state of their domicile, are the citizens of India. Okay, so we say that we are the citizens of India. You will never say that you are the citizen of Uttar Pradesh. You are a member of the state Uttar Pradesh, but you are the citizen of India. You should have, or you are having only one citizenship in India. That means you can travel anywhere in India without any problem. Okay, you can go and you can stay and you can buy lands. You can do anything. As you are, for example, I am residing in Kerala. At the same time, I can come to UP and I can stay there. I can teach there. So I can do anything as I like there. I do not need a separate identity to live in UP. But it is not the case of some other countries. For example, America. See, if you are the citizen of America and you are living in the state of New York, you need a second citizenship. Then only you are allowed to move to another state. Hope it's clear for you. You need the citizenship of New York. At the same time, you need the citizenship of America. So how many citizenship you need? You need two citizenship. But in the case of India, it is not at all necessary. You need only the citizenship of India, so you can move anywhere in any state. So that is called the single citizenship. So the second one is universal adult franchise. What is universal adult franchise? It means the right to vote. A person who is at the age of 18 or above has the right to vote. What is right to vote? Right to vote means choose their representative to the respective government body. Whether it is legislature or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, whatever it is. A person of India or citizen of India who is at the age of 18 or above, he has the right to cast his vote, or he has the right to elect his or choose his representative to the government body. Okay? So that is, hope that these both points are clear to you. The first one is the single citizenship and the second one is universal adult franchise. Okay, now the third one, and one more thing related to the universal adult franchise is Some seats are reserved for candidates from scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. All people from such constituencies have to vote their candidates of the area. This system is aimed at curbing communal politics and fostering communal harmony. See, at the same time, India guarantees universal adult franchise, the right to vote. At the same time, some areas are reserved for the minorities or for the reserved caste, because they may not get equal opportunity, because there is always a chance for the majority to rule over the minority. So the government in the constitution has written a provision regarding the reservation. That also we have to keep it in mind. And the next one is the fundamental rights. What are the fundamental rights? These are the basic human rights. When you are born in a country, you are entitled with some basic rights. Or when you are born as a human being, you are entitled you are given some basic rights. Those rights are called the fundamental rights. This is the beauty of Indian Constitution. This is the beauty of Indian Constitution. Every citizen is guaranteed with the fundamental rights. How many fundamental rights are there? In this picture we can see there are 7 fundamental rights are there. Now in this class we will discuss the first fundamental right. What is that? The right to equality. So in which part of the Constitution we can see the right to equality? Where it is explained? So we can say from article 14 to 18. There are a number of articles are there in Indian Constitution, and in article 14 to 18 it is explaining 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All these articles are explaining about the right to equality. Okay, so the first one, article 14, equality before law. Article 14 guarantees both equality before law as well as equality in protection by law, irrespective of economic status, caste, color, creed, religion or sex. Practice of any kind of discrimination on these accounts make it a punishable offense. What is equality before law? Before law, we all are equal. Okay, no one is allowed to show any sort of discrimination when you are asked to get justice. For example, you are going to a police station. So two persons cannot be dealt in two ways, because sometimes police may neglect you because of your money, because of your caste, because of your creed, but it should not happen. That is what it is guaranteed by the Constitution. You are equal before law. You should not be discriminated on the basis of your belief or your color or your sex or whatever it is before law. That is what the first article 14 deals with. And the second, article 15, prohibits discrimination on the grounds mentioned in article 14. For example, admission to the education institution, allotment to the shops have to be made without discrimination mentioned in article 14. This ensures social and economic equality. And the second part is about the social and economic equality. What is the social and economical equality? For example, you are going to a school for admission, okay, and you have all the merit to get the admission in the school, but the school authority is saying, okay, you belong to this particular community, so we cannot give admission to here, okay, or you do not have enough money to get admission here, so they cannot. Okay, so that is called discrimination on the basis of society or economy, wealth. So that should not happen. So it is a crime against the act of equality of law, equality, right to equality. Okay, then again equality of opportunity, the same it is. Even the state government and the central government guarantees. Okay, but one thing we have to take care, when you are applying for a job, all institutions are not allowed to or institutions are not it is compulsory, not it is not compulsory for them to give you jobs. What you should have? You should have the quality and qualifications you should have to get the job. So to get job, state government and central government, they have put some guidelines. For to get a teaching job, you should have B.Ed or TTC or D.Ed, whatever it is, M.Ed, or all these qualifications you should have. Or if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be appointed as a doctor, you should have minimum MBS degree, MBBS degree. Otherwise, you do not have the right to be appointed as a doctor. So, if you are having a qualification to the post, you should not be separated on the basis of your social or economic or your on the basis of your religion or anything. You should not be separated from. That is what. For example, even the government has given some reservations, some seats to the seats of some jobs. The government are reserved for this particular caste people because they may be avoided from the society. So they also should come forward. That's why the government has given a reservation system, because they should not be discriminated. Hope the equality of opportunity is clear for you. Okay, and some other points related to this: abolition of untouchability. What is this abolition of untouchability? It comes under the right to equality. And which article deals with it? Article 17. What it is? We were having a system of caste system in India, and because of caste system, the divisions, the lower caste people were not allowed to touch others. They were not allowed to walk in the common roads, take water from the common roads. This all comes under the act of untouchability. So when India got independence, this rule has taken away from India. So what it is now, if any person tries to enforce such type of things in the society, he will be punished, because it is against the right to equality. But it is untouchability. If someone, when you are in the class, one of your friends says, don't sit near to me, you belongs to a Muslim group or you belongs to some scheduled caste, you are not allowed to sit with me. If he says that, he will be punished, because that is against the act of or the right of equality. Hope that it is clear. Then abolition of titles. Okay, Article 18 already we said, 14, 15, 16, 17 already we have seen, and now what is Article 18? Article 18. So some of you may be having some titles, Raja or some Khan Bahadur, like that. Some titles you may be having because you belong to a particular caste or a group. So the government says, or the constitution says, you are not allowed to have such titles. Otherwise, if the government is giving you some title, for example, Bharat Ratna, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, such titles, if the government is providing you or giving you, you can have such titles. Otherwise, the titles which are given by or which are taken from your caste, you are not allowed to keep it with your names. And no one is allowed to call you on that basis. And you should not force anyone to call on that basis. You should not compel anyone to call your names with such surnames. Raja. If you were a member of a king's family or a Raja family, and you may have your surname Raja, but you are not allowed to be called like that, or you cannot force anyone to call that. So that is called abolition of titles. But as I said, the government is giving. So for respect, the government, Bharat Ratna, Padma Bhushan, okay, all these, the government is titling you. Government is giving. As for your social service or as for your expertise in some field, the government is giving you such titles. So such titles can be used. That is offered by the government. Okay, such things can be used, but other titles cannot be used. You are not allowed to use any other titles. Hope that the first fundamental right is clear for you. We will continue both these. We are continuing in the online classes at the same time. For your clearing of your doubts, I am sharing this video in the YouTube channel. So I hope if there is any doubt, you can ask in the class. Okay. Also, you can make comments here. Thank you.